Hello everyone, and welcome to a little
different
thing. Yeah, a little segment, little pod vid. We had to get this out there. Just
we do.
Emotions are high. Yeah, just a little different kind of thing. We talk occasionally about UFC here. I'm very into UFC. You're also into UFC, not in the psychotic way that I am.
No, but through you, I've gotten a respect and interest in it a little bit.
And so there was UFC 278 last night. We're recording this Sunday morning, actually just a few hours ago.
Oof.
And even if you don't care about UFC, this is just such an incredible story.
Okay.
It's like,
tell me about it, because I don't actually know the backstory. I just saw what happened.
Well, yeah, so I'm heading your way this morning, and then I'm saving the UFC for later. You know, I have my routine where I don't go on any social media. I save it for the evening. And then you, of all people, text me, "Do you see what happened with the UFC?" And I'm like, because it wasn't like a crazy card, and I was like, the only thing that really could happen is something wild happened in the main event. So I was thinking either Usman got like a crazy like highlight reel, or Edwards sprung the upset. And so I was like, you know what, fuck it. On the bus over here, I'll pull it up my phone, I'll watch it. I gotta know what happened. So basically, the context for those who don't know. Kamaru Usman is the welterweight champion in the UFC. He is the pound for pound #1 in the world, which means he's, across any weight class, he's ranked as the best fighter in the whole world. Super dominant, had a crazy title defense record, has never lost in the UFC. This fight would have tied him for the longest win streak ever in UFC history.
Okay.
And on the other side, we have Leon Rocky Edwards.
Okay.
Who is also very talented. He
clearly
he's only lost once in the UFC, and it was to Kamaru Usman 7 years ago.
Ooh, so this is like a rematch.
It was a rematch, 7 years in the making. They've both built themselves up, and Leon Edwards he's super talented, but he's without a doubt the most unlucky man in the UFC ever.
How so?
He was like on a really good run, and he was supposed to get a main event in London right when COVID hit.
Okay.
So he lost that. He had to stay out for a year. He was going to get this big fight with Hamzat. That got canceled. Then it got canceled again. Then got canceled a third time. They each got COVID. Then he had finally a fight with this guy Bilal Muhammad, which ends in an eye poke, no contest. Then he finally fights Nate Diaz, which he wins, but he gets memeably rocked in the last minute. And that's all anyone ever talks about. And then he was supposed to fight Jorge Masvidal, and then that got canceled. He is the most unlucky human being in the UFC. He finally got his title shot. And also, he's just like, I follow a lot of the British UFC stuff, and so they've been putting out a lot of content on him this week. And he just has like an incredible story. He's a very soft-spoken guy, so a lot of people don't know about him. But he was born in Jamaica into poverty, and then he moved to Birmingham, and his family has been involved in like gang activity, life of crime. His dad was shot when he was 13. And his mom enrolled him. Well, yeah, his mom got him into martial arts specifically so he would stay out of the streets and like get his life together. So he finally gets the title shot.
Walk me through the fight, because I only saw the last minute.
Yes, well, the first round goes really well for Leon.
Okay.
He gets Kamaru Usman down, the first man ever to take him down. Crazy
really?
stuff.
First man
ever. And so he doesn't get super close, but he gets decently close to a submission. Best round you could hope for Leon. As a man who may or may not have picked Leon by submission, I was shitting myself in that first minute. It's like, no way did my insane prediction almost happen.
Oh, so you predicted that?
I predicted a Leon Edwards 5th round finish. I did pick submission, but still.
Did you actually?
Why would you
portray Usman like this?
Because I'm a mad dog. Leon Edwards, 5th round submission. So I was off the money from winning. Freddy's ringtone is that, just so anyone is confused. Jesus Christ, God, that caught me way off guard.
That's terrifying.
After that, though, things do not go well for Leon. He basically gets beat up for the next 3 rounds and 4 minutes. Out-wrestled, he looks super tired, and it's not looking great. It's looking like kind of a typical, not the most exciting, but a typical Usman fight. Then, towards the end, it gets down to the last minute, and the commentators are talking about, like, Leon, he's probably satisfied just to get to the end here. He's looking, they keep talking about how he looks broken, which he did, in fairness, he did. He looked completely out of it.
But I kind of saw it on YouTube, and like the first, like a lot of the descriptions or comments were, what a comeback from him.
Well, yeah, he was losing badly. Like, he was getting dominated. And if that fight had gone the last minute, he would have lost a very lopsided decision. And then, out of nowhere, in the final minute of the fight, Leon Edwards pulls out the most beautiful head kick and knocks out cold the best fighter in the world, who's never been knocked out.
That's insane.
Who's, like, not lost in the UFC, who's beat him already, who's completely dominant, who's been beating him this fight.
out of nowhere.
Out, and with a beautiful, it's a little bit of a Robert Whittaker, as we call it.
Okay, the community specialist enters. That's a bit of a Whittaker moment there.
But he shows him a little boom, and then a little left, and then as he's ducking out of the way, smack with the leg, and just out cold.
He folded
insane.
like a lawn chair.
It was wild. Can I just say also, his nickname is Rocky. His nickname's Rocky, and he got beat up for 5 rounds and then won in the last minute. If that's not the most Rocky shit you've ever seen. And again, for the most unlucky man on the planet, not that it was a lucky kick, he clearly set it up.
Clearly someone's luck has turned.
But like, if anyone deserved that come from behind, comeback, knockout, it's fucking Leon. And he's just such a good dude, too. Like, he's just such
a delightful guy.
Jan, I love you, Mom, I love you. I told you I'd do it for you, Mom. I told you I'd change your life. I told you I'd do it. Now look at me now.
Like, after he's given his post-fight speech, which was great and very emotional, then the UFC, they start blasting the Rocky theme, and he gets up on the cage and lifts up the belt while the Rocky theme is playing. Like, the most movie moment I've ever seen.
Very movie moment.
Fucking crazy. Also, just another little detail that I thought was pretty cool. At the start of the fight, when Bruce Buffer's introducing him, he did like this motion, like he put this to his head and he's like, okay, headshot.
Yeah.
And then afterwards, after he had done exactly that, he did the same thing. He was like, boom, headshot. And it was like,
what a badass.
Leon. So yeah,
but so
craziness.
You predicting that, was that you just rooting for the underdog, going for like, or did you actually think that he was gonna pull an upset?
I mean, I don't bet with my heart on verdict apps, sir. Those are real life fake points. Thank you very much. I think he's just a deceptive guy, because he's fought he's had this bad luck, and he's fought like what people might consider lower level competition now, and so people were sort of completely counting him out. And I was like, I don't know, I see got
potential.
A little bit of magic.
Potential in the kid.
I want to sign him.
That's what we call a Whittaker in this community.
The reason I picked submission is because like Usman's only loss has been by submission, and Edwards he's got some sneaky stuff on the ground. He's pretty good on the ground. So I was like, I felt something about it. Also, I mean, Usman was winning the whole fight, so like not to discredit him, but there is also just a thing that like always happens with long-term champions where they just seem to get a little comfortable. Like Usman's going to be in like Black Panther now, and he's got all these other things going on, which I don't know if it could just also, I mean...
You know it's bad for Ngannou then if he shows up in Fast and Furious.
It's gonna get fucked up.
God, I hope Stylebender doesn't do any movies.
I don't know, there's just a lot of factors. And of course they'll do a rematch, and like realistically, probably Usman will win the rematch. But also it's not like it was a completely lucky shot, because he did win moments in that fight.
Yeah. So you said the first round was
yeah, the first round was great. Yeah, so just a beautiful underdog story, again, for a man named Rocky. The underdog of underdogs.
It's the one.
It's pretty, and his post-fight speech was great. So, yeah, just a very emotional time. Oof. Honestly, you setting it up made it even more intense, because I kind of would have just... I'll be honest, as I was watching it, it was not a great fight to watch for a lot of it. I was like, I got off the bus and I was like, was he talking about like the Paulo Costa fight or something?
Was he talking about like the preliminary card?
Yeah, I was like, this is not that crazy. And then just like as I was walking, I was like, last minute, and then just bang, so good. So
good.
Yeah, wild shit. So anyway, for those at home who don't watch UFC, we just thought that was a crazy enough moment and story
to warrant a little video on
for
its own.
anyone to enjoy. Yeah. So congrats, Leon, and commiserations, Usman. Everyone comes back except for those who don't.
That's a good message to me.
But thanks for watching. There'll be a pod 150 coming up this week.
Ooh.
Enjoy that. That'll be good. And we'll see you next time.
Leon Edwards.